Derivatives: power rule, product rule, quotient rule, and chain rule. Let us take few examples and try to understand how power rule works and when we should apply product rule, quotient rule, and chain rule. Let us take three examples. And the power rule is, you have a function x to the n is the power or exponent. Then you write n and x to the n minus 1, that's the derivative. So when you apply the first one, apply the first example, so you have n is 13, you get 13 x to the 13 minus 1, which is 12. So you are done for the first one. Second one is square root, meaning is exponent is 1/2. You get 1/2 and then x to the 1/2 minus 1, which is x to the negative half. If you want, you can write this one as a simplified form like 1 over 2 square root of x, and it is good to remember that if you take the derivative of square root of x, you get 1 over 2 square root of x. Now when I have cube root of x squared, so I have the x squared and then exponent again coming 1/3. That's why I write x to the 2/3. If you apply the power rule, you get 2/3 x to the 2/3 minus 1. So 2/3 minus 1, you know, is negative 1/3. So you get 2/3 x to the negative 1/3. You can leave it here. You write 1 over square root of x. So we know that 1 over square root of x meaning is x to the negative half. So when I apply power rule, I get 1/2 x to the negative half minus 1. If you simplify, you get negative half x to the negative 3 over 2. And I'm using now the second one, number 5. You are basically taking derivative of x to the negative 7. So when you have negative 7 in front with this power rule, x to the negative 7, negative 1. So you get negative 7 over, if you write like this, is good, it's fine. So then x to the negative 8, you can pull it down like this. Okay, so we'll take more examples. Let's try with one more example. You have 3x squared minus 7x plus 4 over x. Need to do some algebraic simplification first. If you distribute x in each term in the numerator, you get 3x minus 7 plus 4x to the negative 1. Then your derivative 3x will give you just 3. 7 goes to 0 is a free constant, plus 4 and negative 1 x to the negative 2. You can rewrite 3 minus 4 over x squared. Let me take example 7. So in this example, I have two terms, x squared minus 3(1), and then the square root of x plus 4 is another one. So we need to apply the product rule. So I just show you product rule shortcut way. You can write x squared minus 3 and then write square root of x plus 4. Now we take the derivative individually. This one will give me 2x, and this one, you know, square root of x will give you 1 over 2 square root of x, and then 4 goes to 0. Now if you take the cross multiplication and add together, you actually got derivative with the product rule. So you get 2x, and then you have square root of x plus 4, and then plus 1 over 2 square root of x multiply with x squared minus 3. And you don't have to simplify, so you just get the derivative. We take example number 8. We have now quotient form 3x squared minus 7 over x plus 2. I'm writing my first numerator here, and then my denominator goes in this. We take the derivative as usual. So you get 6x, here you get 1. Now we put a minus here and then plus here. Do the cross multiplication. So then your derivative result will be now, the denominator always will be squared, that you know from the quotient rule, and the numerator will be this one. So let me multiply 6x first with x plus 2, and then minus other side. 1 times 3x squared minus 7. Further you can do simplification, but your part is actually done in quotient rule. So let us do some simplification. I have x plus 2 squared is in the denominator. Now in the top I get 6x squared plus 12x minus 3x squared plus 7. And then your final result is like 6x squared minus 3x squared gives you 3x squared plus 12x plus 7 over x plus 2 squared. So we are done with the quotient rule. Example 9. So we can use now chain rule. So in the chain rule we say that we compare this one just like our x, so it's like x to the 11 type. You can apply power rule, which is 2x squared plus square root of x plus 3, everything I consider as x to the 10. Now 11 goes in front with the power rule, and then next you need to take the derivative of inside. So 2x squared will give you 4x. You know, square root of x is 1 over 2 square root of x. We have learned already. And the derivative of 3 is 0. So you are done.